happy for. Of course, this is a bunch of speculation. This is hypothetical. Well, I'm not going to say it's not hypothetical. Part of it's hypothetical, but a lot of it is... It's not in concrete. It's not set in stone. This is just what is a possibility and what seems, you know, completely... It's totally possible. Logistically speaking, what I'm about to let you guys know, it's totally possible, and I think it would be a great reason why we've had some of the things like that 6-month silence happen regarding the game. So, don't worry, I'm going to mention that. Let's see here. Yeah, so far with Arxis, we're waiting for the next round of significant news. Pretty much all they've done is show us gameplay of the arcade version of the console patch. Right now, over at Brussels, they have the current build of the game there. People have been testing it. If you go on Twitter, you can see the new tech that people have been finding, what different characters can do. Heart is looking like she is going to be definitely within, you know, the top tier. She's going to be like the best brawler in the game. I'm looking forward to her, without a doubt. Her 5B, she can charge her 5B, and it will clash with DPs. So, it's the same thing. You know, like how Yang can armor through a bunch of DPs? Heart can just hold a button and clash with DPs and punish you after. That's awesome. I love that. She can also, with her homing, bait anti-airs and then punish you. She has some really good movement, some really good tech in this game, for sure. So I'm excited to pick her up and play her. I just hope that she's not, like, super easy. I don't want people to just, you know, for anyone to be able to pick up and play her and get a lot out of her. I don't want that to be the case. Mainly because I do know that there are people who only play high-tier characters in this game. So, you know, we'll see. Hopefully she does require you to spend some time with her before you can get as much as you can out of her. I'm hoping that's the case. We'll see. Oh, Kirito. Wait, did I say arcade mode? If I said arcade mode, my mistake. I meant the arcade release of the game that's coming to Japan this month. I didn't mean arcade mode. Who knows? If we are getting an arcade mode, then it's gonna be revealed at the Arc Nama stream this month. You know how they have one every third Friday of the month? If we're getting one, it's gonna be revealed there. But don't hold your breath for it. I'll say that. I'll say that. Don't hold your breath for it. Let's see. Yeah, I just think that we need to get some news here regarding BBTAG, because we've only gotten gameplay since they made their announcement for the arcade release and then the console release window. And honestly, with this gameplay, first we had just low-level gameplay, you know, people who've never played the game before putting it up on their YouTube channel. But now we have gameplay from the Arc Nama 24-hour stream, where people were actually, you know, they had at least somewhat of an idea of what the characters could do, and we saw some of that. Now we have people playing it in Brussels. It's gonna get to the point where there's not that much that you can discover without just sitting down with the character in training mode, you know, for a decent amount of time and figuring things out. So, I mean, in terms of marketing with gameplay, I think that we gotta get the next piece of major news sometime soon. The only thing that they can do in terms of stretching out, hey, here's some more gameplay, this is the news. I mean, the only thing they can do at this point is to get SKD or Jonah on a stream or something, and you know, they would have had to spend time with the characters beforehand, and then for them to show off what they can do already with the characters. That's the only other hype gameplay that they could potentially do. Aside from that, it's time for us to get some more news. You know, that's just how it is. Let's see. Alright, so moving on, I'm going to break down how I think Season 2 is going to look for this game, and how I think Beyond Season 2 is going to look. Now, this is, you know, like I said, this is just my speculation, but I'm going to tell you guys why this is what I'm thinking they're going to do. And honestly, it is completely possible. All of this is totally possible. You know, that's why I'm sharing it with you guys. Alright, and also it clears up some confusion that some people have had regarding certain things. So, I'm personally predicting that we're going to get some character packs revealed either this month at their Arcnama stream, or we're going to get them revealed next month when the May console release comes out. I've mentioned it to you guys before. When we get the release on console, if these characters are part of the Season 2, part of Season 2, we're going to get a Season 2 pass. 9 times out of 10, these characters are the first pack for Season 2. So, they have until then to start showing us new characters, to start getting us excited for that. And that's because when they come out, they need to have a Season 2 pass for the characters. Because it would be so... People would obviously get pissed if you release those characters and then later you reveal, hey, they're part of, Season 2, and then you have the Season 2 pass come out. So the same day that those characters come out, we're going to get the Season 2 pass. Okay, that's the first thing. Also, even if they did not, which I highly doubt this is the case, but even if they did not show us anything, everyone knows that on the Nintendo eShop, we get, like if you look at Dragon Ball FighterZ, when the Season Pass, when the Fighters Pass came out, we got the list of DLC packs. Same thing for BBTAG. When BBTAG first came out, we had the list of character packs, right? We knew how many character packs were coming. It should be the same exact situation with Season 2. Okay? So, that's the first thing. Now, for characters that I think that are going to be announced between now and EVO, these are just estimates of like what I think the character packs are going to be. I'm sure that you guys are more interested in what I think it's going to be after, after EVO, after we get that 7th Fate reveal, or I'm sorry, the 6th Fate reveal and that 7th Fate tease. So, we already have Naoto, Teddy, Seth, and Heart. I think the next character pack, likely it's going to be something along the lines of Celica, Elizabeth, Wagner, the next Arcana Heart character, whoever that is, and I'm also predicting that we're going to get a Ruby reveal here, and that the Ruby character is going to be a single character. It's not going to be a character in the pack. The Ruby characters will be separate. That's my prediction. After that, for the 3rd pack, it would be Bullet or Kokonoe, Risei, Nanase, and an Arcana Heart character, right? I think we're going to get 2 more packs before EVO at most. And at EVO, I think we're gonna get either 1 or 2 packs revealed there, depending. I think at EVO, that'll be a good time to release the villains. If we're going in order here, then the villains will probably be revealed at EVO. So that would be Terumi, Adachi, Hilda. I think it's Scarlet, that's the Arcana Heart villain, and Adam. Okay, and of course, again, Adam would be a single character by himself. That's how that would go. Now, the thing is, before at EVO Japan, one of the big things people speculated was that we didn't get a Ruby character at EVO Japan because it would have upstaged Arcana Heart, which I have to agree. I do agree with that. People weren't that excited for Arcana Heart. Most people weren't excited for Arcana Heart when she was first revealed at EVO. It was only with her gameplay that people got hyped for her. If she was living in the shadow of a Ruby character this whole time, she would not be getting as much love. It could be the same character, same gameplay and everything shown. She wouldn't be getting as much love. I'm gonna say that. Okay? So, I think that here is where they're gonna have a Ruby character reveal, either here, or if they don't want to have the 7th Fate revealed alongside the 6th Fate revealed alongside a Ruby character, they could easily have the Ruby character revealed a month before at RTX Austin, which is a Rooster Teeth event, and it's happening a month before EVO. The thing is, I thought that would be kind of awkward if they revealed her there, because if she was revealed, it's like July 5th, I think, is the start of RTX. If she was revealed there's no way that she would be EVO legal. So, it would be awkward to have revealed her, and then she has to come out like a little bit over a month later. It's not that awkward, but that people would be thinking about it going up into EVO. Oh, we don't have that Ruby character that was shown. Just saying. Now, let's see. So, yeah. So at EVO, they make that announcement. They either announce, They announced 1 or 2 character packs there, depending on how many we've had leading up until then. Now, this is where it starts to get, you know, a little bit more into the speculation side, but it all makes sense. It all makes sense to me, at least. I think, one, I've said it before, Ryuko and Satsuki are going to be surprise reveals at EVO. I say that because a year ago, Mori asked, or he said that Ryuko and Satsuki could join BBTAG, and I feel like that was a way of him testing to see what the reception would be like at this point. As someone who's like a fan of Kill la Kill, and you know, I keep an eye on like what the Kill la Kill fan base says and things like that. Ryuko and Satsuki would be awesome characters to add to BBTAG, and I don't think it would distract from Kill la Kill if at all. There are plenty of people who will happily buy Kill la Kill if, as well as get Ryuko and Satsuki in BBTAG. If it's just those two, that's not a problem at all, in my opinion. Midnaz, dude, don't tell me you haven't heard of Kill la Kill, dude. All right, well, I guess when you get off the stream here, whenever the stream's over, you can look up Kill la Kill. It's Ryuko and Satsuki, the 2 lead characters, the rivals, you know, from Kill la Kill. Oh, no, they did not deconfirm Kill la Kill. Mori was the one that threw Kill la Kill out last year, July. July was when he threw that out there. I think that was when he knew that 2B wouldn't be coming to the game. There was a panel. I remember, like, they said that Kill la Kill isn't the 5th Fate, which I don't know who expected Kill la Kill to, you know, who expected the 5th Fate to be Kill la Kill, because I think that would have been too soon of a turnaround time. I think that if we're getting Kill la Kill characters, it's going to be announced at EVO for sure. For sure. And I say that because Kill la Kill If comes out a week before EVO starts. It would be the perfect time for cross-promotion. So, that's what I believe. On a side note, for what it's worth, Carrie, the VA for Satsuki, I don't know, there was like a tweet or something, and I responded to it saying that it would be awesome if Satsuki was in BBTAG. She liked it. She does like most of the comments that, you know, different fans, you know, comment to her or whatever. She doesn't like all of them, but she does like most. So for what it's worth, she did like that one. Now, I think that beyond that, the 6th Fate, yeah, we're gonna get the 6th Fate reveal, and we would get the 7th Fate tease. So, I was trying to read your comment there. Okay, well, it looks like you have heard of Kill la Kill, at the very least. But yeah, it's an awesome anime, dude. Pretty much the majority of people who, like, have heard about Kill la Kill coming to BBTAG, at the very least, like, they're skeptical to believe it, but they would like for it to happen. Most of the time, that's people's responses. It's either that, or if you ask, like, someone in the Kill la Kill fan base, they're just like, yes, we would want it, without a doubt. But let me see here. Okay, so, for the 6th Fate, a lot of people have been talking about either Chaos Code or Dengeki Bunko Fighting Climax. Alright? I think that having looked at some of the gameplay, a little bit of the gameplay, especially the intro to both of those games, I looked at Chaos Code, I looked at the main character and his, you know, some of his moveset, and he has one move where he makes this electric looking ball or something in his hand, and it looks like it will be a similar color to the 6th Fate Diamond. Okay? I looked at Dengeki Bunko Fighting Climax, and personally I thought to myself that if we were getting characters from that game, the first one would probably be Kirito from Sword Art Online, just because from a popularity standpoint, that's the biggest fan base. As far as I know, that's the manga or anime with the biggest fan base in that game. So I think that he would probably be the first pick. You know, a lot of people talk about him. So I thought it would be either one of those two. I looked at Kirito's gameplay. Obviously, he uses his sword. You know, and when I went back and looked at the Sixth Fate reveal, most people described it as lightning splitting the Fates in two, like splitting the Fates in half. When I personally looked at it, it looked like something just cut the Fates, you know, diagonally in half. That's what it looked like to me. So to me, when I saw that, I was like, okay, Kirito uses a sword. Kirito is from Sword Art Online. If you look at the color of the Fate, it does match Sword Art Online. If you look at Heart and how Heart was teased, the pink Fate square was put in the middle of the other Fate squares. It was right there in the middle. It was the heart of the Fates. When you look at it, from the 5th Fate reveal, it was the heart of the Fates, and it was pink. And that was to tease Heart I Know. Directly her. It wasn't to tease her franchise directly. It was to directly tease Kirito. It was directly to tease, you know, Heart I Know. So for the 6th Fate, it looks like they are directly teasing Kirito. That's how I see this. You know, I could be wrong. We'll see. But to me, that's what it looks like. It looked like a sword was cutting, you know, the Fates or whatever in half, and then the color of the square matches the Sword Art Online logo. I mean, I think it's Kirito. Now, of course, some people might say, oh, well, the color, you know, Arcana Heart's color, whatever, it didn't match the logo. Well, don't worry, because I was about to get to that. The point here, right, so the point here is it directly teased that character. I don't think that the 6th Fate is Sword Art Online. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that I think the 6th Fate is Dengeki Bunko. Not Dengeki Bunko fighting Climax. The 6th Fate, from what I've seen, is most likely Dengeki Bunko. That's it. All the different manga that are under that umbrella, those are all open in terms of what could potentially be there. Now, yes, I do believe that most likely it's the Dengeki Bunko fighting Climax characters that they're going to be picked from, you know, that they're going to pick from for Season 2 and Season 3. I do think that that's the case, but I don't think it's going to be... I think that they might have some more wiggle room when it comes to that. And I say that because when I looked into it, some people were saying, oh, it would be so hard for them to get the rights to all those different manga, right? Well, I looked into it and I was like, okay, well, Sega did it, so how did they do it? And the Dengeki Bunko license, the way that they work is they have an overarching license. So they have full control in their license agreement where you can pick different characters and you have the full rights to use them in your game. That's how it works. So they can just go directly to Dengeki and they can specify what characters from what manga they would like to have in the game, and they're allowed to have them. That's just how the license works. That's how Sega was able to get all those different properties in, because it's an easy process to do it. I didn't say it was cheap, you know, but it's an easy process. You know, so I do think it's possible there, because Sega did it. The sprites are already there for the Dengeki Bunko fighting Climax characters. There are 18 characters in the game, not including the Virtua Fighter character. I didn't want to include them because they're not from Dengeki. But there are 18 characters in Dengeki Bunko fighting Climax, right? So that means they have sprites for 18 different characters there, and they just have to be touched up if they were to be added to BBTAG. Alright? Now, this is where I get a little bit further here into my speculation. I think that the unicast for BBTAG is going to get phased out. What do I mean by that? I think that they're gonna stop adding uni characters first. Not, you know, not anytime real soon, but I just gave you the list of characters I thought were gonna be joining between now and EVO. I think that it's completely possible after that they stop with the uni characters. And even if they kept going with the uni characters, there's only 2 that they're missing, Byakuya and Enkidu. So even, let's say that those 2 got in, okay, cool, they're in. Now what? Well, now they're out of uni characters. Okay? So, I think that Arcana Heart was introduced, and we're gonna get the first 4 characters here. You know, 4, maybe, you know, who knows? But we're gonna at least get the first 4 characters here, and the thing is, they're gonna phase out the unicast with the Arcana Heart characters. That's what I think. So I do think that at some point, instead of it being uni, it is going to be Blaze Blue, Persona, and Arcana Heart, and then of course the 6th fate being Dengeki Bunko. That's what I think the next round of character packs after, between now and EVO, I think after EVO, the next round of character packs after that will look like that. Arcana Heart right now has 20, it was either 22 or 24 characters currently. They have all those characters, and all they have to do, all Arxis has to do is redraw the sprites. You know, of course that takes time, but I'm getting to all of that. I don't know what you meant to say there, Midnaz. Yeah, I don't know what you meant to say there, dude. But let me see. Okay, so I think that the unicast is going to get phased out. The Arcana Heart characters will replace them, right? Now, when it comes to the Persona characters, let's say we go on to Ultimax, because I fully believe that we're going to get Ultimax characters. Rise and Adachi are 2 of the most popular, most requested characters. They're going to get in the game, you know. So let's say they go on to Ultimax characters. Now, if they exhaust the roster, the Ultimax roster, then we're also going to get characters like Junpei, Minazuki, Marie, and Margaret. Okay? So, let's say that we get those characters too. They already said no puppet characters, so that means we only have 4 more Persona characters from Ultimax, and that's it. So, I think that Dengeki Bunko being the 6th fate introduced, Dengeki Bunko would then take the place of Persona. So then it would be Blaze Blue, Arcana Heart, Dengeki Bunko. It would be it'd be those 3, plus whatever the 7th fate is. You understand? So, I'm thinking that the 7th, 8th, and 9th franchises, those are going to be the ones made from scratch. But they're always going to have the pattern of there's 3. We're going to have, it's going to be easier to clean up or to, you know, get their sprites and everything done because the assets are there. And there's going to be the 4th franchise that has a character that is new, you know, the new franchise that we've just introduced. I think that it's going to keep that pattern. Now, if that's going to be the case, then that means we're going to get a lot more than 4 Arcana Heart characters, obviously. We're going to get a lot of the characters from Dengeki Bunko Fighting Climax, you know, and we're going to be getting a lot more Blaze Blue characters as well. And I think, personally, I think that when we get to the new characters, the ones that are made from the ground up, which I think would be Fates 7, 8, and 9, those characters, I could see us getting 4 of them per each franchise. Anywhere from 4 to 6. Anywhere from 4 to 6. I think that this season would be the last season that we get any Ruby characters. The current season right now, Season 2. This season, and maybe potentially, like, at the very end. If after they have all 9 fates added to the game, and there's been certain characters that fans have been asking for that aren't yet in the game, I could see them adding them in at the very end as, like, the last season that BBTAG would get. So, you know, if you follow the pattern here, I'm personally thinking that the seventh fate could be Cinder and Kagura. You know, it really could be. And if it was, it would be revealed at EVO Japan 2020 if they keep up with their pattern. Then obviously the 8th fate would be at EVO US 2020. And then the 9th fate would be at EVO Japan 2021. Now, some other fate possibilities, we've mentioned them. I think Neptunia and the Fate series, you know, those are possible. Don't say for sure, I'm not going to say for sure that it is them, but they're definite possibilities. I also think that some Studio Trigger properties are possible too. Or I think that really if they add any more Studio Trigger characters than Ryuko and Satsuki, they could just have Studio Trigger itself as a fate. The same way how they could have Dengeki Bunko itself as a fate. They could have Studio Trigger, you know, if they want to. Boom, Ryuko and Satsuki is there. Akko and Diana are there. And then some Darling in the Franxx characters could be there too. You know, that's what I think they could do. But in terms of what the fates will be, that's more up in the air. But I've done the math, and honestly, it all works out. They have enough BlazBlue characters for sure to keep up with a pattern of 4 more packs per each fate. You know, having Arcana Heart phase out the Unicast, and having Dengeki Bunko phase out the Persona cast. So, and total, with all this happening, if there were 4 packs per each fate, by the end of this game's run, there would be an additional 36 more characters, which would bring the roster total to 76 characters. If we had 6 packs per each fate moving forward, we would have 42 more characters, bringing the game's total to 82 characters. Now, I think that this is definitely plausible. I think this is definitely a possibility, because the assets for all the franchises I mentioned, except for the last 3, what the last 3 would be, they would all be done. That's why I think that this is possible. That, plus the fact that they put in a bunch of work to get that arcade release released in Japan. And I know that that's going to be profitable for them, you know, hopefully. And that's going to help offset some of the other costs. And also help, you know, grow the player base in Japan. And, lastly, this would also explain that 6-month silence that happened after EVO last year. This would explain it, because if they got to work on making sure that, you know, they were touching up all these different sprites, that they were securing the rights to the Dengeki Bunko characters, that they were touching up all those characters, and they were planning all this out, figuring out how they were going to translate those characters over, and they got that much of a head jump on it, then they did that at that point so that we won't see another lull in the future. If this is what is actually going to happen, then that's what that 6-month gap was for. So that's why I really hope this is the case, because it explains a lot of things. And honestly, it makes everything look... It honestly makes the picture of how things are right now look a lot better. But of course, they haven't commented, so, you know, we don't know. Okay, Midnaz. I haven't personally myself seen Darling in the Franxx, so I can't comment on it. But even if you don't have that franchise in BBTAG, you still have, well, let's just say that they would stick with just Ryuko and Satsuki, because I doubt they would go beyond them. But if they had Little Witch Academia in BBTAG, they could easily get 4 characters. I actually talked about this before, what 4 characters they would probably pick, but, you know, they could still, you know, they don't have to use Darling in the Franxx. You know, that's the point. It was just an example. Let's see here. So that pretty much, that's my speculation for what they could be doing BBTAG. Personally, if they do this and we don't get any more Ruby characters, it's possible that maybe in a couple of years or so that we'll see a Ruby fighting game. Arxis has expressed interest in making a Ruby fighting game, so we could see a dedicated Ruby fighting game announced, you know, maybe like 2021 at EVO. I know it's like a long ways off, but just an idea. It's still possible, for sure. And let me see. Oh, and then I was just going to talk about some of the characters from Dengeki that I think would be great additions for BBTAG. Man, I wish Combo was here because he's the one that recommended that anime Durarara, and it's great. I've been enjoying it. I finished the first part. I started the second part. It's awesome, and I honestly think that it's like an underappreciated anime. I would love for more of those characters to get into BBTAG. Even if Dengeki Fighting Climax got in, even if that happened, only Shizuo is a playable character in that game, and then they have Izaya and Celti as assist characters. You know, even though I literally have like an idea for what a full moveset for those characters could be like, but I'm gonna mention the Durarara characters I would like to see in BBTAG should Dengeki Bunko get confirmed. Alright, Banaz. I'll keep that in mind, dude. Oh, awesome. I see that you've seen the anime too. Yeah, I just try to like stick with calling it Dur since that's the short version of it or whatever. But in terms of the characters I'd like to see from there in BBTAG, obviously #1 choice would be Shizuo. And I think that Shizuo, he would probably come across as like very similar, or not very similar, but pretty similar to Kanji. But anyway, I do think he would have his own unique traits about him compared to Kanji. I do think that most of the Dur characters would revolve around having high mobility and mobility-focused specials. And I say that because if you watch the anime, the characters who fight and who aren't just doing like really basic, oh, I'm gonna punch you in the face or whatever, you know, they all have a lot of mobility. The ones that really can fight. So I think it'd be cool if most of those characters, most of the characters then translate over to BBTAG and have that mobility. Shizuo is one character where I think it might be an exception because, yeah, in the anime he can, you know, he has mobility in terms of his movement and running around. But you know, in Fighting Climax, he doesn't have any mobility-focused specials, but I think that in this game, they could translate some of those things over to him by giving him good frame data. I think that he should have the fastest command grab in this game, because he just seems like a really mobile character. He should have really good pressure when he's up close, and yeah, in terms of his movement speed, he should have the fastest movement of any grappler in the game. You know, he's that rush-down grappler character. I don't think we quite have anyone that fits that archetype. I mean, Mika has slow command grabs, and her gameplay doesn't revolve around grappling. It's more of just like a surprise option. And then Kanji's Kanji. I mean, the guy is a meme, practically, to be honest. You know, just saying. Oh, Midnight, I have not, the Hollywood... Yeah, Have I found out who the Hollywood killer is? I think I know who that is, but I haven't seen that character in a fight yet. So I'm not gonna comment on them because I don't know. Maybe there's more I haven't seen yet. Saika is, from what I've seen, I don't know, dude. I just don't think that she would have, from what I've seen at least, I haven't seen anything that shows that she would have that unique of a playstyle. But I do see your reason for including her, or for wanting her in the game. I do see that. A character that I think would be pretty interesting would be Izaya Orihara. And I think that he would probably be a very dodge and counter focused character. And when I say that, I mean like that's half of his game plan. Dodging and countering you is half of his game plan. Like, I know people think like Hakumen is that character, but no, Hakumen just has that option. Like, the good Hakumen players, they don't rely on that, and they don't, you know, it's not a thing to be relied on. But this character, I think Izaya could be built around that completely. He could maybe have something like a command dodge with like a long animation, you know, like a longer animation than you would expect, and he can be completely invulnerable during that whole animation. But you know, I say that he could probably still be grabbed, or maybe be command grabbed, right? I think that, yeah, he could probably be you know, like command grabbed out of it or something, just so there is a way to counter that. But also that during this dodge, he can cancel out of that animation at any time with any of his moves, you know, any of his normals, any of his specials, including his DP. So if he sees you about to command grab him, you know, he can DP and he can beat the command grab. Because otherwise, I don't think that he'd be able to, like, jump during this animation. He's kind of like, in my opinion, I think that Izaya would probably be, like, somewhat like a grounded Yosuke, in that he stays in the ground, so you can hit him, but when someone's using him really well, it's like, oh my god, how do I hit this character? And I feel like that fits him. If you compare that to how he is in the anime, that fits him perfectly, in my opinion. Also, if he could get grabbed, and then Shizuo has command grabs, I think that fits. I think that fits the character really, really well. You know, maybe he could have something where, like, his EX command dodge or whatever, the follow-up on it is always safe on block, or maybe for, like, his faster moves, it'll be plus on his faster moves so that he can continue his pressure. And then also I think he would have counter specials, right? So, you know, when I say that, it would be like, he'll set up a counter, almost kind of like Weiss's parry, but it'll counter anything. Like, if anyone tries to do anything, it'll counter it. If someone tries to raw super him while he does that parry, then, you know, he'll counter it. Of course, there's startup to it. There is startup to it, so it's not like on his wake up he can just do it and then beat out your raw super, but he you know, it's something that you would have to be aware of. I think that'd be really cool. And then of course he'd be able to combo after it's solo after he successfully counters someone. But I think that his drawback would be that he only has average pressure, and that he's like pretty much a close to mid-range character. If he's not like almost in your face, he can't do that much. He doesn't have options long distance, you know, so I think that would be his drawback. Another one I think would be great is Celti. Both Celti and Izaya are assist characters in Fighting Climax. I don't know why they're not full-fledged characters, because just watching the anime, I can come up with movesets just like how I've been talking about here. But anyway, I feel like Celti, her A button, her A normals would be punches and kicks, and then her B normals would be scythe-based, you know, the scythe that she makes. It would have little vertical range, but good horizontal range. And I don't think it would have as much range, though, as like something like Teddy's bat, because we all see Teddy's bat. I don't think it'd have as much range as Teddy's bat, though. A little bit less than that. Now, for her, I think that it would be really cool if, for her movement, she had motorcycle specials where she just pulls up her motorcycle, you know, brings it up out of nowhere, and then she's riding it. And if you, like, for example, if it was 236A and you hold A, then she could, like, stay on the motorcycle, and, you know, if you let go, then she can get off, and then if you're holding up while you let go, then she can jump up in the air, or if you're holding down, she can get on the ground, you know, get off, and then the motorcycle can keep going and hit the opponent, and then they have to block it, or they get hit by it, and then she gets a combo. You know, or if you have it like, you know, her 236B could be invul while she's on the bike, but the startup would be slower for it, so it's not like she can just be up close and then just get on it. And then, of course, she would be able to cross up with this, just go right by the opponent, and then the opponent can't even hit her. But then I think with this one, she would not be able to hit the opponent. You know, but then she has options. She can cross up, jump into the air, start attacking. She can get off the bike and go for a fake out. If you weren't paying attention, then the bike can hit you. I think that would be really cool for her. And then also, I think that she should have a few long-range specials using her shadow powers. Maybe one that's like full screen but cost meter. You know, just as an idea, you know, I think that will be awesome for Celti. I think that will be amazing for her. Yo, Minas. Yeah, man. Feel free, dude. Go ahead. I'm not usually, most of the time though, because yeah, I see like some of you guys will like message me and stuff like when I'm not streaming. Just a quick heads up. A lot of times, like if I'm not streaming but you see me online and I'm not like playing a fighting game or I'm not playing a multiplayer game, I'm just like chilling, trying to, you know, just like relax, playing a single player game or whatever. So most likely I'm not gonna like immediately respond to your messages if you message me or anything like that. So just giving you guys a heads up. But yeah, like feel free to go ahead and add me, dude. Alright, Lastly, I want to talk about Myru. Now, Myru is an interesting one. Myru Orihara. I think that Myru would be cool because she has a lot of mobility. She's really athletic. I've seen her like fight a couple of times so far, but just from what I've seen, it would be cool to have her. She would definitely be like another brawler type in this game, but she would be, like, think about how Seth and Blake move, but then think about how, you know, like how a character like Yang or so, yeah, like, I don't know, I guess Yang is the closest comparison. She's a girl brawler. So think of like how a character like Yang, how she fights, but then think about how Seth and Blake move. It would be somewhere in between there in terms of like a combination of that. And I think that would be really, really cool. Oh, yo, Binnas, yeah, my PSN is the same. It's right there on the screen, bro. Max Oblivion. Yeah, like I have my name the same across all of my most of my channels here. So yeah, Max Oblivion with a hyphen after Max. All right, so Myru, I would say that she would probably have a command jump. She would have a grounded command jump that could be used on the ground. Actually, no. Something, yeah. A command jump that she could use either in the air or on the ground, and then has follow-ups. And then I think that her follow-ups would probably be plus on block. You could probably punish her if you hit her before she can get that animation out, but I think that she would probably be, plus on block if she actually hits you, because she's just a character that seems like she's quick. So that's why I think she'd probably be plus on block. Now, I also think that, let's see, I also think that she would probably have something like a dash step. You guys know how Jubei has like that dash step where if he gets close to the opponent, he dashes behind them. I think that she could have a command dash step like that where, you know, like 6-6 or 4-4, depending on what side of the opponent you are, you have to be like right next to them. She can do like a command dash where she jumps to their other side, and I think that would be really interesting. You know, she could have that, and if she's briefly involved during that period, that would be cool. And let's see. Also, I think a grounded like attack where she like lunges herself at the opponent trying to kick them, I think that would be pretty cool too, and I think that would be pretty fitting for her character. So let's just say that, you know, she would have that and be able to keep pressure. You know, for her follow-ups, she can do like a dodge attack, cross up, or keep, you know, just keep applying pressure in like, you know, pressure situations. But I think that if Myru gets in, this is the reason I don't think that she'd get in. If Myru gets in, a lot of people would expect Kuriri, or Kururi, my bad, to get in as well. And if you guys have seen Durarara, then you know how they behave, you know, how they act in the anime. I think that it would make a lot of sense if Kururi was in Myru's intro or outro, like as her single character intro and outro, and then of course with her special intros and outros, it would just be Myru and the other character. But I think in her single ones, it would be her and her sister. But and of course, even like there was like some game released on PSP, even on PSP, it was a similar situation where Myru was playable, Kururi was not playable at all, so it's not anything new that happens. But, if Myru gets in, and they have her sister in her intros, like, I think that this game's rating is probably gonna go up to an M, because of, yeah, like, if you know how they are in the anime, like, I think it's gonna go up to an M. And that's the reason why I don't think it's gonna happen. It would be really cool if she did get in, but I don't think that she is, because of that, one, and even if they got over that hurdle, even if they adjusted the game's rating and it was all fine and dandy, dude, you can bet on when it gets to EVO, when the game gets to EVO, and they have an intro or outro play that's anything that's, you know, against their core values, you know they're just gonna shut it down, they're gonna freak out about it, you know, it's more trouble than it's worth. That's pretty much the point. So that's the only reason I really doubt that she would be in. But otherwise, character-wise, like gameplay-wise, I think Myru would be an interesting character to have, you know. But I don't think it's gonna happen.